When your car starts making new noises, you gotta listen. My Jag's been making this grinding noise every time I start it up. And now, it got this battery light on. And that usually means one thing. What's up, you guys? Welcome to Keeping These Jags Purring. My name's Jesse, and today we're going to be working on my 1985 Jaguar XJ6. So the alternator recently has been acting up. Every time I go and start the car, it's been making this loud screeching metal-to-metal noise. I figured maybe a bearing is wearing out. So I told myself I'll get to it later. Well, now it's later. The alternator actually stopped making that noise, but the battery light illuminated on the dash. So I'm thinking the alternator is faulty now. But before I go replacing it, which I really don't want to, I ain't trying to do all that work, we finna properly diagnose the car. Let's check the voltage on the battery. Let's check the tension on the belt. And if everything checks out, guess we're replacing that alternator. That's a new how-to video for y'all. Alright, let's go check it out. First thing we finna do is check the battery voltage with a multimeter. We should be getting about 12.5 to 12.6 volts with the car off. Let's see what's up. Let's find out. Alright, so we're getting 12.19 volts. That means the battery is almost drained. That's a sign that the alternator hasn't been charging the battery properly. But it still has enough juice to start the Jag. If the battery voltage is lower on your car, you might want to remove that battery and take it to your local auto parts store so they can charge it. First thing, let's disconnect the battery. Use an 8mm wrench to loosen the battery terminal cables. Real quick, I want to give a special shout out to Zozume, not that anime movie, but the company, for sending out these wrench sets. They have a flexible head ratcheting design that's gonna help me a lot during this repair. They're great quality and a really good value for the money. I'll leave a link in the video description if you guys wanna go check them out. Thanks again, Zuzume. Y'all the best. On the driver's side, we're gonna remove the alternator cable holders. Use a Phillips screwdriver to remove them. This gives the wiring some slack so you can pull the alternator out later without damaging the cables. Before lifting the car, it's best to loosen the wheel lug nuts first. We're going to be removing some suspension components to get the alternator out. These lug nuts take a 23mm socket. Now grab your low profile jack and place it underneath the front lower control arm. Lift the car and place some jack stands for safety. Then do the same thing on the other side. You can also lift the car from the front crossmember subframe using a piece of wood between the jack and the frame to protect it. Now we can remove the wheel. There are a few things underneath that needs to be removed before we can reach the alternator. First thing, we gotta remove this metal skid plate. It's held on with 3 10mm bolts on the frame. Next, we got this coolant pipe, which has two 10mm bolts. Use a flathead screwdriver or an 8mm socket to loosen the hose clamps. These radiators, they don't have a drain plug, so you gotta keep a drain pan ready. You might also want to put some cardboards underneath to avoid making a mess. I like inserting a flathead screwdriver into the hose to control the coolant flow instead of just pulling the hose completely off. Now we need to remove the sway bar. If we don't, the alternator won't have enough room to come out. Use an adjustable wrench to hold the sway bar link so it doesn't spin. Then remove the 14mm nut. Next, we have to deal with the sway bar bushing bolts. Put a 14mm wrench on the bottom nut and flex the head down, then insert an extension and wedge it against a solid surface. That way the nut won't spin when you loosen the bolt from on top. Then use a 14-inch long extension and a 14mm deep socket from the engine bay to remove the bolts. If you have someone helping you, it makes this part a lot easier. Now repeat the process for the other side. With the brackets loose, use a pry bar to push the sway bar links out. The alternator belt is still tight, so the belt isn't causing the charging problem. It does show sign of wear though, so we'll replace it in another video. Use a 1/4 inch wrench to loosen the belt adjuster. We're not going to remove it yet, just relieve the tension. Then loosen the top mounting bolt. Now remove the adjuster and the belt. We can push the alternator to the side and remove the two top mounting bolts. Use a ratchet on one side and a wrench on the other. And just like that, the alternator is finally out. Not too bad, huh? Well, when you got the right tools, knowledge, and no bolts are rusted. The new alternator doesn't come with a pulley, so we need to remove the old one and reuse it. There are spacers on the shaft, so I use both the new one and the old spacer to make sure that the pulley sits properly and doesn't rub or make noise. Before installing the new alternator, I recommend replacing the fasten connectors with a ring-style terminal.
Wow. Wow. Alright.
This helps prevent the cable from coming loose and causing charging issues later. For the other small fasten connector, pinch it slightly with a plier so it grips on tighter. I use new bolts and washers for the alternator mounting. The old bolts have stripped threads. Bro, putting that sway bar back on was honestly the hardest part. Aligning the bolts is a pain, but I got it done. I replaced the bolts here too. Now let's reconnect the battery cables. You need about 3 gallons of coolant. I'm using conventional green coolant since it's designed for older vehicles. Voltage is back to normal and there are no leaks. Thanks you guys for joining me on this repair. If y'all found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up. Stay tuned, there's a lot more work coming on this Jag. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Late.